All right. Well, welcome everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope you're all having a fantastic week so far. So this is week 2, part 3 of a training series that we started this month, covering the 4 new SalamanderLive features that were released in December. So today's topic is all about the pin join feature. It's a small class today. It looks like there's only a few of you on, so please feel free to ask questions during the training if you have any. You can unmute yourself to ask the questions, or you can send a message through that chat option. So either way works. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started here. All right, so if you've worked in SalamanderLive before, you'll know that for each event that you create, there is an option for you to join one or more events together. And what this join does is it allows for your agency to work seamlessly with other agencies that are responding to that same event. And what that does is it creates that common operating picture, allows all your connected solutions to kind of see what's going on with that event. Now, there are 2 different types of joins, as you can see on my screen here. In both options, just note that once the events are joined, that the action is irreversible. So it is what it is, it's done. So the first type of join that you'll see in here is an internal join. So this is the traditional join that you've seen today, been using in the past. So this is when you join 2 or more events that were created in different Salamander applications, but within the same account that the user has access to are joined. Now, if you look at this first image, when you select the checkboxes next to 2 events, what's going to happen is there's going to be this join icon that appears. And when you click on that, what it's going to do, it's going to join those 2 selected events together. So in this case, because command is selected as well as a SalamanderLive event, which is more towards a planned event, the command one is going to take precedence to become parent of that event. Now, as you know, if you've worked with SalamanderLive before, there are some rules that are imposed when it comes to an internal join. And that will be the same when it comes to the pin join too. So there's going to be some separate rules between the 2 different types of joins. Now, the second type of join, and this is one that was released in December, is a pin join. So this uses a 6-character pin that's going to allow your organization to join events across different organizations that are outside of your own user permissions and outside of your SalamanderLive account. So in this case, if let's say you're under a parent organization, let's say you're under the state, and you are a child organization, and there's a parallel organization, let's say police and fire. You're part of police, and there's fire over there as well. You're 2 separate organizations under the state. However, your organizations are separate. You can't see each other's data. You can't see each other's events. Using the pin join, if you were to respond to the same event, you could join your data together, meaning your event data, so that you can see exactly what's going on, who's in the event on the fire side, as well as what assignments they have. Now, some things to make note of when it comes to this pin join is that only users that have administrator level access, or if they're assigned this role, and I forgot, and I apologize, I didn't update this on this slide, but it should say pin management, not incident pin admin. So it's pin management role. So they either have to have administrator level access or pin management role in order to use this feature. So administrator level access, when I say that, I mean either they have the administrator role, administrator no security, or the org admin no security role. So those are the 3 when it comes to administrator. So if you look at this image right here, this is image 2. So when you have one event selected, so when you click that checkbox next to the event, what's going to happen is you're going to see two new icons that appear at the top here. And I apologize on that. This should be on this one here. What is going on with my PowerPoint here? I apologize. So this one right here is supposed to be right here. So this is pointing to the stop or the end event. So I apologize on that. So you're going to see 2 pins. This one is the join with pin, so it looks like a pin, and then this one looks like a like a connection, very similar to this join one. But this is your manage pin icon. So let's talk a little bit about those icons and what they can do. So this icon right here, this manage pin, so what happens is that in order to share a pin so that other organizations can join your event, you have to first generate that pin. And you do that by clicking this icon right there. What that's going to do when you click on it is open up this pin management window. From there, what you're going to do is you're going to click yes to activate a pin. It's going to create this 6 characters pin that's going to be unique to that event. So this is, again, auto-generated. It's going to be letters and numbers combined, and it's going to be 6 characters. When you get this pin, what you can do is now you can provide this to those other organizations that want to join your event, and they can enter that in their SalamanderLive account, which is the next screen. And that's what they would do. So the second organization, so the child organization, the one you're sharing that pin with, what they do is once they get that pin, they log into their SalamanderLive account. They would click on this pin or this icon. And what's going to happen is they're going to get this pin join screen that populates. What they're going to do is they're going to copy and paste that pin that you provided, put it into this field, and then click join. I'm hearing some background noise. If you haven't done so, please mute yourself.
It didn't work out.
All right. Not sure who you are, but I just muted you. I apologize on that, but there's just too much background noise. So one thing I forgot to note on here is that when you enter that pin into this field right here, what's going to happen is that you're going to see this join information. So it's telling you right here that you're joining your event. So T1, in this example, T11948-6, and it's going to show the organization that this event is from. So it's from my training account, which is SalaLive Training. And it's you're joining this event to this event, which is T11948-5. So that's the one that was given you this pin. You're not going to see their organization name in here because you don't have access to that. That's why that's not populating on here. But once you join, it's going to join those 2 events together, and then there's some things that's going to happen. So I'll walk you guys through this process when we go into SalamanderLive, but I really want to just take some time to really explain those icons that you're going to see, the differences between an internal join and that pin join. But there are some rules that are imposed when this happens, when you click join, to join to an event using a pin. All right, so these are some of the rules. I'm going to say some of the rules. There's more, and I've got a document. It's a lot on that document, so I just pulled out the most important ones that's going to make the most difference when it comes to understanding what a pin join is versus an internal join. So in here, you'll see the first bullet point. It says that the event that creates and shares the pin will be the parent of the event. And events that join will always be the child. So when you join an event using a pin, you become a child of that event. Okay, and then the one that gave you that pin is the parent. Why is that important? Because once you become a child of an event, you cannot no longer create a pin and become a parent for another child event. So that's it. Once you join with a pin, you are a child, and you kind of lose control of that event, in this case right here. So if you look at bullet point 3, you lose the control of ending and restarting the event, because now that's all controlled by the parent. So the parent event, so the parent organization that gave you that pin, they now have control of ending and restarting that event. So if the parent event ends the event, what's going to happen is for you as a child event, it's going to also end the event for you. You cannot restart it. Only the parent can. So the parent event, if for some reason it was ended incorrectly, the parent would have to go in and restart that event so that it will resume the event for everybody that's connected. Okay, so that's going to be very important. That's why that parent and child, understanding those 2 different roles when it comes to pin joins is extremely important. Other things on here, so bullet point 4. Salamander Live and TrackApp users. So if you're logging into the parent organization, you are only going to see the parent event name. And then those that are logging into the child organization will only see the child event name. So this kind of takes us back to the internal join. So what we had before this release came out was that if you were to join two events together, let's say one was created in Command, one was created in RapidTag. The moment you join those two events together that were created from the same organization, same account, the Command event takes precedent, right? Becomes the parent of that event. Not only that, the RapidTag event is absorbed into that Command event so that the RapidTag event actually disappears from your Salamander Live event list. And the only one that you have left is going to be the Command event. So that's an internal join. In the pin join, you don't get that. Everybody keeps the name of the event that they created. And that's really, it's trying to separate the lines between the organizations and the databases, because what they're only sharing is that data that's combined in the back end, but they're going to keep the name of their event. And that's still going to be that fine line between the separation between those organizations. Other things that you'll notice on when you do a pin join is that the parent event name is going to use on all the reports. Okay, so even though your event still has your name that you entered in when you started the event, when you go to the reports, it's going to change and it's going to state in there what the parent event name is. Okay, so that's going to be the same for both parent and child. And I'll show you guys that too so you guys can see a visual of that. Last but not least is the parent and child events can delete their own respective events without impacting anyone else. So in this case, if the parent deletes their event from their database, the child is still going to have theirs. It's not going to delete everybody else's event down the line. So it's not going to span down to all the events and delete those. It's only going to delete it from the parent's database. The child, when they log into Salamander Live, they will still see the event. When they click on that event to view the reports, they'll still see the parent data. Since on the back end, it was all combined together, okay? Same thing if the child deletes the event, the parent still has access. So I'll walk you guys through all that so you guys can see all this in action so it makes most sense, but I really wanted to take some time to go through these pin join rules. All right, so let me pull up Salamander Live. And again, if you have questions, feel free to ask. If I'm going too fast, if you need something clarified, please let me know. All right, so before today's training, I already went through and I set up all these different events and all these separate accounts, okay? So I'm gonna log into my first account. So let me just walk you through the internal join so you guys can see that difference, okay? So this is one of my accounts. I'm gonna go to the event side. Once I go to my events, it's gonna list my events on here. So I'm going to see on here that there's two events. One that was created, you'll see the application is Command, and one is through RapidTag. This is created through the same organization, same account. That's why it's listed here. I can see those. So an internal join would be this, where I would select an event and join them together. Now with an internal join, as you know, if there's a command involved, Command will always be parent. If it's RapidTag to RapidTag, the first event that you select will always be the parent, okay? It's meaning that name. So that's the difference, is who's going to take precedence when it comes to that name, okay? So in this case, if I clicked RapidTag first and then Command, it doesn't matter. Command will always be the parent in here, okay? So you see when I select two events, you see this icon that populates. It's that join icon. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Once I do that, it says, okay, I'm joining event A to event ART. Is that the case? And if that's the case, I can click yes. If not, and I want it the other way around, I can select the other way around. So in this case, I'm joining RT to A. Again, it doesn't really matter because Command will always take precedent. So again, I'm going to click join. So it's going to join those two together. You see on here, Now the event ART, which is rapid tag event, has disappeared. It's been absorbed by this event right here. So now all the data that's collected from that rapid tag computer is now going to be synced up into this event. Likewise, all the command data is going to be synced back to this here, and then be shared across the other connected rapid tag computer. Okay? So that's the difference in this case. All right, so let's take a look at a pin join, okay? So when I take a look at a pin join, if I select one event, you're going to see these icons populate on here. So you see in here, if I select two events, you'll get the join, the internal join. But if you select one event, you'll see two new icons. This is the manage pin, and this is the join with pin, okay? So I am going to actually generate a pin to share with another account, okay? So I'm going to click on that icon. It's going to activate and open the pin management screen. I'm going to click yes to activate a pin. It's going to auto-generate this pin for me, so I'm going to copy that. I'm going to just copy that really quick. I'm going to click OK. So you'll see that there's going to be a pin that's going to be assigned. So this is a pin. If I'm going to share this with other organizations to join, this is what I would give them, 1GSZFQ. Okay. So far, you can see in here, command, it's joined. Yes, that's because it's internal join. There's additional columns that you want to add in here, which I'm going to show you this real quick. And is this the primary event? So far, yes, it is. Because we generated a pin, this is the primary event. Now, before I take you guys any further, I just want to talk about these columns. So there's new columns on here that we've added to kind of help you look at this information. So I recommend that you add these columns: assigned pin, joined pin, and primary event. Those are the three. If you want to add this is active pin, go ahead and do that. Doesn't really do much right now, but I would add for sure these three right here: assigned pin, joined pin, and primary event. How you do that is go up to here, click on the edit column. So it's like this square with a line, or rectangle with a line through it, kind of like a book. Click on that, and then go under your hidden column and find those three, and just click on it. Like, for example, I click on run number, it's going to add it to my columns list. And I can drag and drop it and rearrange it as I see fit. So I'm going to remove this as active. So on here, I'm going to drag and drop it so I can move on here. So you can see on here that it's being rearranged. Okay, so this is your sort order right here. Once you're done, just click done, and it's going to rearrange your columns as what you did within that settings. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up another website. Since I can't do it, I can't log in as SalamanderLive twice on the same browser. So I'm going to open up Chrome real quick here. Give me 1 second to get this up and running. So this is my other site on here. I'm going to log into my other account. So this event is going to be the child, okay? So if I go to events, there's already been an event that's created called event B. So event B wants to join event A. And now event A, so that organization has provided them that pin. Once they get that pin, what do they do with it? They go in here. They can click on the checkbox next to the event. Again, those same icons appear in here. And you're going to click on this join with pin. And that's going to open up the pin join window. You're going to basically just paste that information in there. So, or just enter it in. Just key type that in, and then you'll see in here it says join. So it tells you the name of the organization. This is under my sales demo training account. Event B to event A. Is that correct? If I click join, I'm going to get this little confirm join. Are you sure you want to join them? If you join, you're going to get additional assignments, collections, equipment, and people. So again, everything that's within this event B is going to be joined with event A. So once that's done, it cannot be undone. I'm going to click OK. So you see on here, this is command. So let me just fix this really quick so it's all on one screen. So you see on here, once I joined, this was command as well. So one thing to note is over here, you're going to see this little join right next to the command. You will only get this when it comes to when command is not the parent, when command is a child. So, and I'll show you guys this when we go through multiple levels on here, when you have track and command join, and the organization that is going to be the parent only has track. When we do an internal join, it doesn't make sense because in an internal join, command is always king. Command is always a parent. But in a pin join, it does not matter anymore. Whoever generated that pin will always be the parent, okay? And this little signifier tells you that. So this little join right there lets you know that this command event is a child. So you'll also notice when you add that primary in there, it's going to say that no, this command event is not the primary. Another organization, another event is the primary event, okay? So as a child, you'll see in here that I've lost my control of the of ending the event and resuming. And you don't have the join with pin or manage pin icons anymore. All you have is a trash can, okay? And as you know, you can't delete an event until you end it, which in this case, this event can't be ended anyways since only the parent can end the event. So I'm going to show you guys that and how that's going to work, okay? So if I go back to the parent event, which is event A, so event A, you see event A still has all the icons. You'll see the command here does not have that little tiny join as you see on there next to it. You'll notice that it is the primary event, okay? So if I end this event, if I click end the event, click OK, it's going to put in a time and date stamp in there, okay? If I go back to the other child organization and that event, if I refresh this page, and SalamanderLive refreshes every 3 to 5 minutes, but I'm going to just refresh that, you'll see that there's an end date in here, okay? So because that was done through the parent, it gives you the time stamp and everything. Now if I try to resume it, you'll see the little resume button, but if you click on it, it's going to tell you that you can't delete, you can't do anything with that. That button doesn't do anything. So in this case, we're going to go back to the parent, and I can resume it. So if I click on this, you'll see the little button right there to resume. I click resume, and there you go. The end date has disappeared, and now this event can resume. So if I go back over here, I can refresh the page, and you'll notice that the end date is now gone. Okay? Any questions so far on this? Am I going too fast? Do I need to clarify anything? I see Robin, Joe, and Kent. Any questions? No questions? All right. So what I want to show you guys on here is the track app. So we talked about the track app and that if you log into the track app under the parent event, you should only see the parent name, parent event name, same thing with the child. So I've got both up and running. So here is one. So my Samsung event, or my Samsung device, is connected to the parent event, okay? So here's the parent event, event A. And my iPhone is connected to the child event. So let me get that one. Let me run that one up. Give me 1 second to get that mirrored. All right. So now it's mirrored. So now you see this, my iPhone is connected and logged in as a user from the child event, okay? So that's why I only see event B. This one is logged in under the parent event, and that's why they can see event A only. But you'll see that all the information has been synced. So there's the same number of resources across. Now their start date is going to be the same, but their start time is going to be a little bit different. It depends on when the events were started. So event A was started before event B. Event B started the event later. That's why it's 11:54 versus 11:34, and the time difference, elapsed time. Okay, so if I join the event there and join the event here, all the data should be the same. Checked in 3, incident command, incident commander, etc. Should be all the same. If I check someone in through the child, it should reflect into the parent. Same thing if I check something in the parent, it's going to appear in the child event. Same thing with your command computers. All this information is syncing up to your connected solutions, command, rapid tag. So I'm just going to add someone real quick here. I'm going to scan a barcode. I'm going to scan it into, I'll scan it to staging. So I'm going to tap the scan button, scan this barcode, put this person to staging. So now this person's been added to staging. So there should be, when this updates, there should be 13 people. So you see in here, 13 people added. This one has not refreshed yet. If you want to refresh it, just swipe down and it'll refresh your phone. So now you'll see that there's 13 people. So your power count has gone up. So if you go down over here, you can see that the information matches. Same thing on here, command. So I do want to talk a little bit about command. If you're not familiar with command, this may be a little bit confusing, but I wanted to make sure that I cover this as well too. Is that let me move this over. Let me change this event real quick here to the correct event. So once this syncs over, let me refresh that real quick. You see on here? So this is what's going to happen on command side. So because this is my main chart that I created, right? The moment I joined with that, or I sent my pin and gave it to that child organization, all their assignments and everything is going to appear in here. So they're going to not appear in your chart. They're going to appear as separate individual assignments. You can choose to add these, move them and drag them into your chart, or you can choose to create a separate chart for that child organization. It really depends on how you're managing that event. I'd say if you're managing an event together, that they should all be in one. But again, there's multiple different ways in which you can do this. You can go in here, incident, add a tab, and name this as what is this one? So if this is the fire department, you can name that as that, fire department, and this is all their assignments. So I can just, is that all? Yep. And I can drag and drop those into this tab, and then I can go in here and I create my own different chart. Okay? So a couple ways that you can do that. Or you can add it to your chart here. Okay? So that's on the command side. Again, anything that you do in here when you're looking at adding people and stuff, all that's going to reflect back to all connected solutions. Same thing with rapid tag. I have rapid tag up and running in here. So in rapid tag, it's also going to collect all that information from both parent event and child event and add that in here. Okay? So it's a large scale event. You're going to have a ton of information that's syncing back and forth between all your connected solutions. Okay. Any questions? No questions? All right. Now, I want to take this a step further because this is a possibility. This can be done. So let's say you've got two organizations. Let's say the police department, fire department. Let's say the city wants to get involved. And the city has an organization, or the county wants to get involved. So the county comes in and says, you know, we're going to take over this event, or the state comes in, the state says they're going to take over this event. Well, what they would do is they could share you as the parent organization a pin, and now you will become a child, and that event B would now become a grandchild. You see how there's many layers that you can build up when it comes to sharing pins. So again, if in this case event A is the parent, they would then lose control of that event, meaning they can't restart it or end it anymore. It can only be done by whoever is the parent. So I'm going to show you guys that real quick on here. I'm going to sign out. Let me see. Let me create one through the Track app. And I'm going to show you guys this through the Track app so that you guys can see how even if the Track app, that event is not connected with a command, that the Track app can still be the parent of the event, okay? So I'm going to log out of this account right here. Let me just log out right here. I'm going to sign out. I'm going to sign into my other account. Okay. So I'm going to, whenever it loads, I'm going to create an event in here. So I'm going to name this as event event P. Today's date. Oh my gosh, 02/11/21. So event P standing for parent. So I'm going to create this event. So now this event is created. I can log into that account. So in this case, I'm going to log into this account. So this one is created. Let me sign out of here. Sign into that account. So this is, let's say, the state. State comes in. They're going to go to their events. They're going to see event P. They're going to go in here, generate that PIN, select the checkbox, generate the PIN, click Manage PIN, activate a PIN, and now they're going to provide that PIN to event A, okay? And give that to event A. I'm going to sign out of this one. I'm going to log this one as this account. Hold on here. The correct password. All right, so this is event A. So you see event A right here is currently the parent. Primary event, they are the parent. But you see on here, they can still join an event. That's that second layer. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to join another event. I'm going to join it with that event P. I'm going to copy and paste that PIN in there. So you're saying you're joining event A to event P. Remember, event B has already been joined to event A. So it's going to create 3 levels of joins. I'm going to click Join. Click OK. So now you'll see that this has changed. You see on here, there's an assign pin and a join pin. That's how sometimes you can have an assign pin and join pin, because there's multi-levels on joins on here. You'll see on here, application, join, command is now a child. Track is the parent. You see in here, primary event, it says it's no longer the parent. So if we go to the track side of things, it is the primary. You see on that, the primary. So now this event, let's say this is state, has now full control of this event. And this event has no longer control of this. They can no longer end it or restart it. Okay? Questions on that? I didn't see any questions populate. Okay? No questions? All right. Let's take a look at some of the reports on here then. That's the whole pin join. We did a child, parent, and then we did a grandchild, child, and parent. So we did 3 different levels on here. I do see a question that populated. Let's see on here. I'm new to Salamander and have a lot to learn. I need to head out, but I want to thank you for your time. Yes, yes. Please, Joe, please contact me if you're new to this. This might not make a lot of sense today, especially because you do have to have some background and understanding of Salamander Live and our other solutions first before you can understand the pin joins, because it's a combination of all those solutions together. So I apologize if today was a little confusing for you, since this is more an advanced type training. But yes, feel free to contact me if you have questions, if you want to set up training. I'm not sure which county you're at. I see here Wyoming. If you want to contact your local sales rep, they can provide a quote if you need to purchase some training, some one-on-one training. Otherwise, we do provide free online resources and tools in Salamander University here that you can go and take. Or we also provide training opportunities every single month that we cover different topics. Okay, so feel free to join in on any of those. All right. So let's take a look at the reports on here. So I am under the child. So this is event A, which is now a child. How do you know? Because it's not the primary. So if we look at the reports on here, if I go to the people activity report, I'm just going to pull up this CSV file and look at the standard rate. Now if you take a look on here, you'll see the event name. Oops, sorry about that. You see the event name? We're under event A, so we pulled this from the event A, so the child organization, but you'll see the event name is going to state the parent name of the event, so event P, but it includes everybody. Everybody from parent, child to grandchild. It can even go from great-grandchild and so on and so forth, okay? So all the same information on here. The only difference is going to be the event name. And of course, if you go to the parent side of things, it's going to be exact same report. Okay, nothing is going to be different between the reports. Same data, same same information. So you see it here, same information, nothing different. Okay, so all the reports will be like this. Now, in this case, let's say that the event is done. Everybody's been moved to off scene. In this case, they haven't, but let's just say everybody's been moved to off scene. We can end the event. So event P is the parent, so they're going to say, okay, everybody has been moved to off scene. I can just quickly do that just to make sure. I'll use the track app on here to move everybody to off scene. There's not a lot of people anyway, so I'll just quickly go through this. Or we can do it through command too, whichever way is easiest. So there's so many different ways you can move people off scene, through the track app, as you guys just saw, and of course through command on here as well too. So I can just select all these people, move them off scene. Same thing, I could just move all these people. What I'm doing is I'm just holding down the shift key and then clicking, going to the post and then off scene. And now you'll see my par down here, my par count is 0. Okay, now I feel a little bit better. Now I can end the event. So everybody has been moved off scene. I'm going to end the event. I'm going to click end. You'll see on here it's ended the event. Once I go to the other accounts on here, you'll see that this has also ended. There it is, it's ended. Now if I wanted to delete this event, so I'm going to delete this event on here. Actually, you know what, let me delete the other one. Let me delete the other one. Let's delete this one. This is the grandchild, event B. So I'm going to delete this one on here. Delete this one on here. Actually, no. Let's delete. I should have updated my password. Let me see. That. What happens when you have too many accounts, too many passwords. All right, I'll just delete this one here. Update. I'm going to delete this event. So you see on here, I can delete it now. Delete. Are you sure you want to permanently delete this? Click OK. Once you delete it, it disappears. It's gone. But if we go back to the parent account, it's still there. You see that? It did not impact that at all. Zero impact on this event. It's still listed there. So if I go to the reports and view these, the reports are still going to have the child information in there. You can also do that for the grandchild and so on and so forth. Okay? So data is still all there. Okay? So any questions? That kind of sums up the pin join. Any questions? Well, let me pull up this document in Salamander University, okay? So in Salamander University, under the document section, we've got this document. It's under the quick references guide called the join matrix. So this document right here is basically going to help you better understand what's going to happen when you're doing an internal join versus a pin join, okay? So this is why I didn't show this because or have this in the presentation because there's a lot of information in here. So I'll show you the pin join versus internal join. And what I did in the PowerPoint is I just took some of the main points in here and put that into the PowerPoint. But as you see on here, there's a lot of things that's going to talk about. So it's a lot more detailed in providing more information on what's going to happen and what you can and cannot do when it comes to an internal join versus pin join. And when you're comparing from solution to solution, okay, so command to track, command to rapid tag, evac, etc. Okay, so this document, review it so it'll help you better understand. Of course, unless you have some sort of background on Salamander Live and how to use some of the basic functionalities, this may not make too much sense, or any of our other solutions. So again, please reach out if you have questions, if you need training, things like that. But this Salamander University is a great tool, has a ton of resources in here, trainings that you can take to help you learn any of our solutions, from Salamander Live all the way down to command. Okay? So any final questions before I end today's call? None? All right. Well, I just want to thank everybody for being on the call today. Really appreciate your time. Next week, if you missed any of our Tier 1 qualification or the roster and collections training, please join us again next week. Next week is the very last time that we'll run these trainings or for this series, and then we will start a new topic for March, okay, which is going to be on roles and permissions, okay? All right, everyone, thank you all so much. Appreciate your time today. Have a great day. Take care.